What's going on, people of the internet? My name is Randall King, and welcome to Snyder Week. This is where I review Zach Snyder movies in preparation for Zach Snyder's Justice League coming this Thursday to HBO Max. Now, the first movie that I'm going to be reviewing for this series is one that I watched just last night, and that is Watchmen. Now, this movie is freaking amazing, and I don't know why people sleep on this movie. Hang on. I don't know why people sleep on this movie, to be honest, because it is one of Zack Snyder's best movies ever made. Like, I was invested the entire time into this story. And what this is back in the 1950s, there was a group of cops called the Watchmen, and they figured that the criminals were dressing up a costume. Why wouldn't we dress up a costume and go get... The movie starts off in the 80s with a really good opening scene where somebody goes into the comedian's apartment, one of the watchmen, and kills him, basically. Now, before we get into this any further, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers for these films that I'm gonna review this week. So, if you don't want to be spoiled by this, click away now. I'm gonna go into spoilers. So anyway, really drawn out scene in the beginning. So basically, really drawn out scene. It's very atmospheric, as Zack Snyder always does with his films. It's very, like, dark, and the apartment is cool, and, so, somebody goes in and kills one of the watchmen, the comedian, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, swimmingly throughout the entire film. He was one of my favorite characters just upon look. But anyway, he dies, and then we go to this opening credit scene where I think this is one of the best opening credit scenes of any movie that I've ever seen. Like, before I actually watched this movie, I would turn on this movie just to see the opening credit scene. It's the Watchmen throughout time leading up to 1985, where the movie takes place in the present, 1985. And it's set to Bob Dylan's Time They Are Changing and slow-mo, and it's the best opening credit scene ever, dude. Like, it's really great. Then after that, we go to back to the apartment where the cops are there, and then the cops leave, and then here comes our main watchman for the movie, which is Warshak. And he's the guy in the mask and the trench coat. And he's probably my favorite character. The comedian is probably my second favorite. favorite character out of the entire film. Well, I can't really say that because all the characters, except for Dr. Manhattan, are my favorite characters. I have a few problems with Dr. Manhattan here, but I've never read the comics, so I don't know how Dr. Manhattan is in the comics, but his actor wasn't what I imagined an all-powerful blue physicist could be. Like, they should have had somebody a little more deeper, like, I don't know, Neil deGrasse Tyson play Dr. Manhattan. But I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, Rorschach shows up to the comedian's apartment, and then he finds that people are killing. He finds that the comedian was murdered. So the whole movie is basically the Watchmen and Rorschach trying to figure out who killed the comedian and who's killing some of the Watchmen off. So that's the synopsis of the movie. And let me tell you that I thought this movie was gonna be really, really boring because people have told me that it is. But no, I was hooked the entire time on this movie. I did not want to stop watching it. And that's testament to Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is one of my favorite directors, if not my second now, because of that coming out Thursday. So, it's very stylized and it's like very dark and rainy and like, the characters are cool. Like, I don't think of this movie as a superhero action movie, although it is. I think of this movie as a character piece with a little action thrown in there. Like, it's really awesome. Like, give this movie a shot, people. Like, it's Zack Snyder, for God's sake. Like, come on. It's so cool. Like, all the visual effects are really cool. Anyway, so yeah, some of the character motivations in here, like Dr. Manhattan wants to help the other guy, the main villain of the movie, Adrian, stop World War III, but we don't know he's the main villain yet. But again, spoilers, he is the main villain of the movie. And so Dr. Manhattan wants to help him out. Then there's the government that's like, that's about to go to war with USSR, Russia, Soviet Union. It's like, we need to launch missiles at Soviet Union. And then there's Rorschach and Night Owl. And so then there's Rorschach, Night Owl, and Lori Jupiter trying to figure out who killed the comedian and who has it out for the Watchmen. But we find out that it's one of their own, and I'm not gonna tell you what exactly happens in the final climax of the film, but it's very awesome. Like, and heartbreaking because one of the main characters dies in this one. But I'm not gonna tell you who it is, in case you want to go watch it for yourself. Anyway, uh, I I want to talk about the direction and the music real quick. Like, Zack Snyder is very good at visualization, and it's like I've seen panels of the comic book, and this is the comic book Watchmen come to life. Like, really, it is. Like, this is a great piece for, like, 4K. If I ever get a 4K TV, I'm gonna get the ultimate cut, because that's the only one that's out there on 4K, I think. Unless I want to get the box set with all the cuts of the movies and all the cuts of the movie. There's 3 cuts of this movie. There's a theatrical cut. There's, hang on. There's a theatrical cut. There's, hang on. Okay, there we go. There's a theatrical cut, there's the director's cut, and then there's the ultimate cut. The theatrical cut is what I watched last night, and it already makes me want to watch the director's cut and play the time game. Watchmen The End is Nigh, which I might have to buy on Steam and play it for you in my Twitch, on my Twitch, link in the description. Yeah, I'm pretty excited that I've gotten introduced to the Watchmen in this way, and I want to see what the rest of the world is like. But I will not watch the HBO miniseries until probably next year, because I don't want this movie ruined. Cause I heard from a friend that they ruined, like, this movie with the miniseries, and most of the characters in the show are not like they are in the movie. So I am not going to watch the series, and when I do, I'm gonna look back at this video when I want a pick me up on the movie, and I might get the director's cut if I can find it out there somewhere. So and last thing I want to talk about is, like, the musical choices in this movie. Like, the soundtrack is the bomb, dude. Like, the soundtrack is kind of lit. Like, really good soundtrack. Like, we got Bob Dylan, we got Nat King Cole, we got My Chemical Romance, which is one of my favorite bands, by the way. Did not expect that at the ending credits. I was like, whoa, My Chemical Romance? Holy crap. But, yeah, really good soundtrack, really good movie. I'd recommend it to anyone. There's a little bit of slow stuff, like the scenes on Mars with Lori and Dr. Manhattan are, like, a little boring, and and it gets slow in the middle, but it picks back up, is what I'm trying to say here. It gets really slow in the middle, and then it picks back up during the climax of the film, which is really good. It's very atmospheric, very accurate at the time periods that they're portraying here. I did like the scenes in Vietnam a lot, like Dr. Manhattan going into Vietnam and just slapping people to death. It was cool. It was really cool. And then the comedian having his flamethrower and his cigar in his mouth, like, really cool. And some quotes that I like were all from Warsack, basically. Like, when he gets into prison later on in the film, and, like, something happens, he gets in a fight with another inmate, and actually burns his face off, but, yeah. It's a rated R movie, people, I'm sorry. And he goes, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me. That was, like, the best line in the film. Also, the one in the trailer where he goes, the world will shout, save us, and I'll whisper no. I saw that in the trailers many years ago, and it never left my mind. Like, and the scene where, he's telling the guy about his investigation, and he's trying to go save a little girl, and he kicks some ass in that scene. I'm not gonna tell you what happens, cause it's pretty brutal, but awesome at the same time. So, overall, yeah, you know what I'm gonna give this movie. No question. I'm going to give Watchmen 5 stars. Yes, it is. So guys, Watchmen, if you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. I would love to have a conversation with you about this movie. And look forward to Snyder Week, everybody. Happy Snyder Week. Tomorrow and, uh, yeah, tomorrow, I'm gonna be posting, Man of Steel and possibly Batman v Superman in anticipation for Zach Snyder's Justice League. So stay tuned all week. I've been Ryan Wolfgang, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll see you in the next video, which is tomorrow. Okay? Peace.